What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be adding Apple CarPlay, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto, smartphone mirroring, USB, all that good stuff to this E90 series BMW. This car is actually my brother's car, and as you can see, it is in really good condition. I mean, this thing is just clean. It's not clean, but he has decided that he will keep the car for a few more years, and it has no phone connectivity. I think it's got Bluetooth, no audio, has AUX input, but is always damaging cables. So with this module, obviously he'll have CarPlay, wireless CarPlay, music, maps, all that good stuff on the genuine iDrive system. So we'll look at what system the car is running. I'll explain a little bit about what cars this will work on, and then we'll look at the module. There's the genuine iDrive system. Okay, it looks like that, with our little iDrive controller right here. So this particular system is a CCC iDrive from BMW. This module is designed for the CCC system. It will work on the E90, 91, 92, and 93. In fact, it'll work on all BMW models. So even the early, I don't even know if they had an X5 back then or whatever. If it's not a 3 Series or maybe a 1 Series, if it's got that CCC iDrive information, it looks like that, this module will work. And then after this, they use the CIC and then NBT, and then it goes on and on. So if you've got a different model, you can drop a comment below or whatever. But if you've got this model, this is the kit. So let's go look at the module. All right, guys, here's the kit. So first thing you get is a little overview of the instructions. So it shows you where to do all your screen connections, how to plug in the quad lock connector, all that sort of stuff, which we're going to go through anyway. Then we've got the module itself, and then we've got a whole bunch of wiring in here. So we've got an external microphone here, which we need to fit. We've got a CAN box right there, screen connection, AUX input. So this module here takes the video input and runs it through this module and then sends it back out to the screen, and it's got a video in here from the module. So the module can send information to the screen. Okay, this is more screen connections, I'm gonna say, but we'll look at that together. We've got another part of the harness here for the module. It's gonna be power. There's our plug and play quad lock connector, secondary harness, CarPlay USB right there, Wi-Fi antenna, and a little AUX plug if you need it, which we can look at. And that thing there you don't need to worry about. Okay, so there's a fair few things in that kit. It looks like it's not gonna be a hard install. It'll just be a little bit more involved than some of the other ones we've done. But what we'll do is start pulling the car apart and get on with it. This part here is just clipped and it pulls back, but on this car it was very tight, so don't be scared to pull on it. Okay, so we have the 2 plugs right there on this panel here, and then we have the start stop button right there, which you'll need to unplug, and you can set this to the side. We can remove that. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. This whole thing will pop out, and we might have to put that gear selector back so that we can pull that all the way out. And the screen, really easy. 2 screws right at the top. They're T15s, and then the screen literally just pulls out forward, and that should be most of what we need to remove, unless it's really tight for space and we need to remove the glove box to get the module behind it, but we'll see. This is the start button inside that big panel that we removed, the wood grain one. It has 2 clips on the side. Just gonna press them. All right, I just did that so I can turn ignition on, get that out of gear, and then remove the radio. Okay, so behind the radio you've got the main quad lock connector that just has a little tab on it like that. Okay, that's how you release it from the radio itself. We've got antenna, GPS antenna, which you're not going to use, that we're not going to use, so we just need that. And the screen connection here, okay? Okay, so this will only go one way. Okay, it's got the audio input here. We've got secondary harness there, and that's just going to plug back into the factory radio. So when we put this back, how I like to do it is fish that back and then over to the side and get it out of the way. Another thing to take note of is the factory one has fiber optics cable in it, so you need to remove that. It's very easy, like that, and then put it into the new one, just like that, nice and easy. Plug that in, it's secondary harness. So this one here is going to run to the module, okay? And then on there you've also got reverse camera power and a reverse and front camera input, so if you wanted to add those you can. And then we've also got audio output. So audio out and audio in need to get connected together, and that gets done with the cable here, comes in the kit. Alright, just like that. Space is pretty tight back here, so I'm going to remove the glove box and put the module over there, so we know where we're going to run our powers and stuff. So example, that plug that we just looked at for the module, that's going to go over there. Okay, I was wrong about that. This is a T10 for the screen. Okay, there's two just going straight up. Okay, once those two T10s are removed, the screen can literally just pull forward like that. Nice and easy. Still got the ignition on like a genius. This cable here is connected directly to that. It goes out of the radio module through this cable to the screen. And what we're going to do is intercept that. So it's going to go out of the module, out of the radio module. All right, up to here. So it's going to go out, and then it's going to, so this will be an input. So it's going to go in to that. Okay. It's going to go into this, and then it's going to go out of this using the cable that's supplied in the kit. And what you can see here is there's a little notch on the part itself, and there's a little notch on the cable. So I've just lined those two up. Boom, plug it in. We can add a bit of tape to that as well. That goes into the screen now. And then there's also another cable that's right there. So that's this bad boy here in your kit. That can get run somewhere. I'll work that out after, but it's going to go that way over to the module, which is where we're going to be mounting it. So before we did this quad lock connection, I plugged the secondary straight in. I just read the instructions. This all comes in the kit. So it's a little plug with a T-harness and a module. That has to go in line. Okay, so it's just going to go like that and like that. Okay. So we've got quad lock connector, CAN bus module, out to main module, and there's a little red cable right here that needs to get connected to accessories. Now there is a cigarette lighter right here, which you could probably, oh my god. Just a quick interjection. My brother always complains that he loses a lot of features, like cigarette lighters stop working, certain things stop working, and I look at the fuse and the cigarette lighter, main cigarette lighter fuse had popped, so I changed it. And he calls me back and it's like, oh, it happened again, it popped again. Look what I just noticed. Coins in your cigarette lighter socket will short it out. Anyway, back to business. Okay, there's a couple ways of doing this accessory wire. You can do it however you want. Because I'm running most of this stuff over to the glove box anyway, there's a fuse box behind the glove box. I'm just gonna hook this up at the fuse box. If you want, you can remove this stuff here and then tap onto the 12-volt power from the cigarette lighter. Completely up to you, it doesn't matter. Okay, so if you want to follow along with me, you can do it that way, run it to the fuse box, otherwise just tap it on there. And we'll get some tape, make this look nice. Okay, there's this plug here in the kit as well. It says that it needs to go into this port right here. So on that module there was a little plug called control, as we saw before. This goes right into that. And then it's saying that this runs to the module and it goes to touch. And I'm gonna confirm that you need this at all because it's touch and that's not going to be touch screen, so we'll see. You might just have to do it anyway, or it might be irrelevant. We'll find out soon. But we've got a screen connection here. We've got those two coming down to the module. We've got all that ready to go to the module. Here we've got the CarPlay USB. You can do whatever you want with that. Because it's just my brother's car, I'm not going to be too crazy with it. Even just have it sitting somewhere, like I'll tape it up nicely and just have it sitting sort of out from the dash right there. And then he can plug in his phone if he wants to, or he can just use it wirelessly, it doesn't matter. Usually when we're doing this for customers, I just ask them where they want it and we look at things together where we could put it. Brandon, that's my brother, he can get what he's given. Okay, and then one of the last things is the microphone. So once again, you guys decide where you want that. You can go roof liner, you can go steering wheel column behind there if you want. I don't know, clip it wherever you want. Clip it on the mirror if you want. Whatever. Alright guys, glove box is out. Now as you've seen, I had to remove this to get it out, and I did it in a backwards order. So if you're going to do it, remove that first. Then the glove box comes out. Then what I want to do is start running some of these cables down to this area. And the module, there's plenty of space right up in here. So we've got those two cables run down to where they want to go, right to here. Can put the screen back, that's gonna go there. Alright guys, so here are the connections that we have left. So I've got the quad lock here, and I tried to bundle the bigger part of the quad lock right at the back there towards the steering wheel, so it's out of the way of this. And then all of the connections that we have made, the microphone has been run, screen connections, all that stuff, it all runs down to here, where we're gonna mount the module. So now we can start putting this back. Main radio module's back in, so we can do a little test now. That's a good sign. Got some screen action. Okay, everything seems to be working. We're gonna press and hold the menu button. Boom. Look at that. That's very touchy. I'm gonna see if we can fix that. There's dip switch settings on the instructions here. So I'm gonna change number 5. Whatever it's on now, I'm gonna change it to the other one. So dip switch 5. I'm gonna swap it down, unplug the module, plug it back in, try again. That's better. You probably can't see much, but now as I do one turn, it changes one thing instead of scrolling 100 times. Okay, so that's what we want. Make sure you screw on your Wi-Fi antenna so you've got wireless CarPlay. And this is all very important to just make sure you test everything before you put it back together, because the last thing you want is to put it back together and something doesn't work. Boom. And so one of the main things I'm looking for is sound. I want to be able to hear what's happening. Okay, so we've got no sound. So what we're gonna do, first thing I want to do is go back here and just make sure, yep, we're on audio AUX. Boom. So it was just power off. So press and hold menu, all working.
Roll another one.
Hey Siri, how are you today?
I'm happy to be here.
Beautiful. So we can see Apple CarPlay works, obviously through USB, microphone works, module works, screen's all working. So, what we can do now, get this off, neaten up this whole wiring setup here. We've got all this wiring cables module that all needs to get taped up nicely, and I found a really good spot for the module. So like up and in, you can sit there, you can zip tie it. There's a piece of plastic here we can zip tie it to so it doesn't rattle around. I've just very quickly done this connection here, so I'll show you that and it'll be good to go. Alright guys, so for anyone that's going to do the same as me with that red power cable, right at the top of the fuse box right there, in the top right hand corner, it's the last fuse right there. That's an ignition fuse. I've used a fuse jump with a 5 amp fuse on it, okay? Guys, how good is that? Apple CarPlay on the iDrive system, all working with factory controls. Alright guys, that is the job done. Pretty straightforward install. Definitely not as easy as some of the other cars we've completed, but still plug and play, nice and easy. You've got the full how-to right here now if you want to install it yourself, obviously. It's a great system. Obviously you get to keep all the genuine iDrive features. So Brandon was asking me before if he can check his oil and stuff. Obviously yes, but now you've also got CarPlay, Spotify, wireless CarPlay, all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm sure Brandon's going to be happy with it. You can roast him in the comments and tell him to clean this car because it is so bad. If you have any other questions as well, drop them in the comments below. Module is in the description if you want to purchase it. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.